The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not allow the sharing of a receptacle between two separately metered offices, even if the air conditioning units are side by side. Each office space is considered a separate occupancy and must have its own dedicated electrical circuits and receptacles to meet the requirements of the NEC. Firstly, the NEC is designed to ensure electrical safety and prevent hazards such as overloading circuits, electrical fires, and other dangerous conditions. When two separate offices share a single receptacle, it can lead to potential overloading of the circuit, as both offices may draw power simultaneously. This can create a fire hazard and violate the safety standards established by the NEC. Secondly, each office needs to have its own dedicated electrical circuits and receptacles so that proper electrical load calculations can be made for each space. These calculations are essential for determining the appropriate size of conductors, overcurrent protection devices, and other electrical components. Sharing a receptacle makes it difficult to accurately assess the electrical load for each office, which can result in undersized or overloaded circuits. Thirdly, separately metered offices are typically billed for their individual electricity consumption. Sharing a receptacle would make it impossible to accurately measure the electricity used by each office, leading to billing disputes and inaccuracies. Each office needs to have its own dedicated electrical system, including receptacles, to ensure accurate metering and billing. Fourthly, the NEC requires that each occupancy have its own dedicated branch circuits for general lighting and receptacles. This is to ensure that each space has an adequate supply of electricity and that circuits are not overloaded. Sharing a receptacle between two offices would violate this requirement, as it would mean that one branch circuit is serving two separate occupancies. Fifthly, the NEC addresses the installation of electrical systems in multi-tenant buildings and requires that each tenant space have its own electrical panel and distribution system. This ensures that each tenant has control over their own electrical system and that they are not dependent on other tenants for power. Sharing a receptacle would undermine this principle, as it would create a dependency between the two offices. Sixthly, consider the situation if one office has a problem with its electrical system, such as a short circuit or ground fault. If the two offices are sharing a receptacle, this problem could affect both offices, potentially causing damage to equipment or injury to people. Having separate electrical systems for each office ensures that a problem in one office does not affect the other. Seventhly, electrical inspections are conducted to verify that electrical installations comply with the NEC and other applicable standards. If two offices are sharing a receptacle, it is likely that the installation would not pass inspection, as it would violate the requirements for separate occupancies. Eighthly, if the air conditioning units are side by side, it is still necessary to provide separate receptacles for each unit connected to separate circuits. Air conditioning units typically require dedicated circuits due to their high power consumption. Sharing a receptacle would likely overload the circuit and could damage the units or create a fire hazard. Ninthly, the NEC addresses specific requirements for receptacles in commercial buildings, including the spacing and location of receptacles. These requirements are designed to ensure that receptacles are readily accessible and that there are enough receptacles to meet the needs of the occupants. Sharing a receptacle would likely violate these requirements, as it would reduce the number of available receptacles in each office. Tenthly, building codes and local ordinances may also have requirements related to electrical installations in commercial buildings. These requirements may further restrict the sharing of receptacles between separate occupancies. It is important to check with the local building department to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and ordinances. In summary, the NEC does not permit the sharing of a receptacle between two separately metered offices. Each office needs to have its own dedicated electrical circuits and receptacles to meet the requirements of the NEC and to ensure electrical safety, accurate metering, and compliance with applicable codes and ordinances.